What is it that they're distracting you from? Think about it. What are they trying to not have you think about? They want you to have distracted about the protest and the curfew and all this going on. All right. So I'm not going to get into those topics. It is a sensitive issue. But the first thing I want to talk about is I did mention this in my TikTok last week, but how Circle USDC issue, how they IPO. Now, this is such a big deal because you have TradFi, all right, and the stock market embracing crypto. Now, this is huge because as you see, if it's on the stock market, then it's for real. So along with that, again, this is all for the betterment of business, right? With lower cost, instant settlement. All right. As you see, this isn't getting too much coverage. This was a week ago. Okay. Um, but in my next slide, as you can see right here, this happened yesterday. Okay. So the Genius Act stablecoin bill was passed for the next voting. The Senate will vote next week. All right. And then after that, the House of Representatives has to vote on it. But this is my point is this was passed yesterday, and on the news it's just the Trump and Elon beef. It's the protest. And again, it is a sensitive issue. It is all very, very important. That's why it's distracting because not only you think about it, you have people's emotions in it, you have people's lives being affected with the curfew and the city getting destroyed essentially. It is, yes, it is very sad. But along with this, as you see, you have the US Treasury. He also talks highly about stable coins. And guys, this is just important to not get distracted, uh, and notice what's happening, right? You have to be able to clear out the noise. And again, there's been so much news. I have so much more that I need to catch up on. But along with the IPO and the Genius Act, you have Circle, they officially are deploying USDC on the XRP ledger. All right. As you can, this just proves my point about how everything is interconnected. All right. It looks like there's competition. It looks like there's feud, but really they're all going to win because they're all going to be used. Because I'm going to make another video on the interconnections. All right. Because again, USDC is live on the Stellar network. All right. And also PayPal stablecoin on the Stellar network. This also brings to my point about everything's interconnected. All right. I was going to connect my video, but please go to my TikTok to watch my video on Elon Musk and his connection to PayPal and Stellar's co-founder, Jed McCaleb. All right. How they have current partnerships now. All right. And again, this just proves it. Yeah, a lot of things are there and obvious, but please go ahead and check that video because PayPal, as we know, Elon Musk, I put that in the video, but Elon Musk started X.com back in 1999 and turned it into PayPal. And from my next slide, you have Amazon deep into AI and Walmart going into stable coins. There you have Saul. Thank you for agreeing. In the next video, you have Josh Halsey, U.S. Senator.
What's your profit margin, Mr. Patrick?
It's circa 50%.
Mr. Sheedy?
Slightly higher.
It's higher than 50% profit margin?
Slightly higher than MasterCard, yes.
Yeah. Why is it that small businesses continue to use Visa and MasterCard when you're getting charged so much more?
It's in my opinion, it's a matter of convenience for the customer, and customers matter to our business.
Maybe is it because that Visa and MasterCard are effectively monopolies? They control 80% of the market.
Certainly part of
80% of the market. I'm just having a hard time understanding, Mr. Sheedy and Mr. Patrick. You have a business model. You're making over 50% profit margin. You are able to give the shaft to small businesses. Estimated cost to Missouri businesses from these fees is $1.5 billion. That's with a B, $1 billion a year. Why aren't all of these businesses running away from this model? Because they don't have a choice, because you control so much of the market. The DOJ lawsuit says that you threaten retailers with staggering financial penalties. That's a quote, staggering financial penalties if they use a competitor, and you're paying Apple and Square and others not to compete in your market. You've got 80% market share and you are paying off would-be competitors not to come into the market. This is just classic collusive monopoly behavior.